Happy New Year, everybody. Suddenly it's almost the middle of January in 2024. I'm finally in position to make another video after a nice holiday over Christmas and the New Year. Thought to start the year off by talking about what my hobby plans are. I'm not going to call it hobby resolutions because I'm absolutely terrible at actually following through. I did a video like this last year, and I can safely say that I think I achieved none of my plans there. I'm too much of a hobby butterfly, and work and real life always gets in the way of my own hobby. But that said, I do have a rough idea of some of the gaming I would like to do this year. And I've got a few projects that are on the go that need to be worked on to some level of completion. I've got some Napoleonic Italian line infantry here, and this is to represent that I've got a lot of painted models that need based. So I need to mix up some PVA sand, or just use some out-the-pot Vallejo acrylic texture, and get a few battalions actually ready for fighting on the tabletop. They're from my 1813 project. So there's lots of French and greatcoats to paint there. Never ending, it would seem. But one thing that I'm desperately needing to do actually is to get some command models painted up. I've done quite well at painting up the battalions, but actually getting some brigades and divisions on the table is a whole other story. So these are Perry metals. I think these are technically the Imperial Guard commanders from Waterloo, but I will be using them sort of as generic generals for my force, and we'll paint them up to reflect that. One thing that was asked for on some of the comments on videos was more guides to cavalry and horses, so I'll certainly be aiming to do more horsey models over the course of the year. My main interest in 1813 is MacDonald's 11th Corps. Didn't have much in the way of cavalry in it, but in their sort of sector at Leipzig there was some heavy cavalry. So I've got some periplastic heavy cavalry here. In this box set you can make cuirassiers. You can also make the carabiniers as well. So I'll need both of them, and at some point I'll hopefully do a painting guide for them as well. Last year I made the start on a project for the silver bayonet. I painted up my warband and some of the wolves from the first solo scenario. I can't remember if it's the second or third solo scenario, but some vampires are needed. So these are from North Star. They've been undercoated and will be getting painted up at some point. They're in sort of a 18th century noble outfit, which is quite cool. I think that these will paint up really nicely, and be a chance to use some fancy colours that I don't often get to use on wargaming infantry. I need some fitting terrain for silver bayonet as well, so I've got this Renedra ramshackle church to stick together. It looks like it could be a good centerpiece on the table, and hopefully not too difficult to stick together and paint. One of the solo scenarios calls for some bandits, so I've got some Perry Spanish guerrillas. These are male and female in there. I've got another box which I think is just some more men. Somebody did ask on one of my videos for a guide to how to paint sort of brown cloth. I think it was for some Napoleonic Portuguese that I did a video on, so maybe I'll use these Spanish to demonstrate that process. Last thing here is an FDM 3D printed stroke. This came from a friend of mine who likes the idea of us playing bolt action. I painted this a couple of years ago. We managed to get a couple of games of bolt action in. The 80th anniversary of D-Day happens to fall this year, so it might be nice to do some gaming around that. I suggested that to my friends end of last year, so we might just about get ourselves in gear for doing that in June. I'd like to beat last year's total of games played this year. If I include all the co-op and solo games that I did, as well as with other opponents, last year I managed to play 0 games of any sort. I don't know how it came to be, but actually getting on the table with some figures just didn't happen. So that's a bit ridiculous. I'll hopefully be able to improve on that this year. It'd be shocking if I didn't, to be honest. I will return fairly soon with some more videos. I have a bunch of commissions on the go at the moment, which are important. I'll share some images and videos from them, but hopefully get a painting tutorial sometime in this first quarter. So thanks for tuning in. If at some point in one of my previous videos you did suggest something for me to paint and I've not addressed it in this one, sorry about that. I might have forgotten a few things. Slip anything in the comments that would be on your wish list for me to do, and I'll see what I can get round to. I think one thing I want to do this year from a personal point of view is maybe start branching out in the manufacturers that I use for my armies. I am a massive Perry fanboy. I've got Victrix, a couple of front rank models, and plenty of Warlord models in my French, but there are loads of other manufacturers out there that could probably do with getting shown off. So if you have any suggestions for different manufacturers, any period, not just Napoleonics, that you think deserve the light of day, I will certainly take those ideas and see if I can run with them with a painting tutorial or two to show off some of the more independent manufacturers in the hobby. See you next time. Bye.